I might have a squatter right now. I had
Really?
a lengthy Airbnb. It was like a month, like 20. It was 25 days, and then but the person who was booking it wasn't actually the person who was staying there. But like I went through, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'd love to extend it. I love the place." I was like, "Oh, great!" And so like it's like day 2 of her stay that we're like negotiating it. I send her a contract. She signs it, and then she's just being a little bit of an idiot about paying. And then
Yeah, you talked about this previously. This bitch still hasn't paid? Let's call her right now.
Should we? I mean, I can.
I mean, maybe.
All right, let's do it. Let's put
Yeah, let's follow up.
All right, good call.
Bitch.
We're investigative journalism. I think her name is.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. May I ask who's calling?
It's Ian Grady.
Eden Grady.
Ian Grady. You're in my Airbnb.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Welcome to Once Upon A Bnb. This is your host, Maha.
And this is Ian, and we have a great guest with us, Nigel.
Hey, Nigel.
Thank you for having
Welcome
me,
to Once
guys.
Upon A Bnb.
Happy to be here.
A fellow personal injury attorney.
I would say unfortunately, but among other lawyers, I'd be like, yes.
Definitely fortunate. We ball.
Oh, what? Here and there, here and there, here and there.
All right.
Yeah, and Nigel has been hearing about been talking about coming on the podcast. Excuse me, for a while now.
Yeah.
And you've had apparently a story that you've been itching to tell.
Something
Don't
like that.
jump straight to the story. Come on.
Well, just teasing it a little bit. I'm sorry. Let's tell us a little bit about yourself. Excuse me.
Yeah, where you
I know
from?
we talked about the podcast. When I found out that you were honored with Maha, I think we talked about it in Colombia. I was like, man, I definitely got to come on and join you guys. But who I am, I was born in Zambia. I moved to the States in high school, but before that, I actually used to live in Johannesburg in South Africa. So that's
Nice.
when I say home, that's probably the first place that I think about. But my family is actually in Zambia. I moved here in high school with my mom. Went to Georgia State.
Not Georgia.
Not Georgia.
I was
my bad.
mistaken. Yeah.
Go Dogs, though. But yeah, went to Georgia State. Funny story though is like I didn't actually start school like right after high school. I had like a bunch of hold up with like immigration stuff for like 2 years.
Oh, really?
So when I started, I was like 2 years behind all my friends. Like all my friends went to Georgia State at like the same time, right? So I went to summer school like heavy and graduated in 3 years to try to
Catch up.
Oh, wow.
Nerd.
and then went to law school straight.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was like a hard like 6-7
The
years of,
American
like,
dream.
very from my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, eventually, because when I was like, "Oh, mom, I want to be a lawyer," she was, "So you want to be a liar for a living?" And I
A
was
liar.
Like, oh my god.
What was
We get such a bad rap, man.
what was her like idea? What was she
Doctor.
expecting? Yeah, doctor.
I think that's like all immigrant parents,
Right.
especially like African parents. Doctors are good people. They help people. Lawyers just lie for money.
My immigrant parents were cool with the lawyer thing. They're like, "Are you gonna be rich? All right, cool."
See, I wish I could have used that to convince my mom.
Right.
But she's more so like growing up. She was very Orthodox Christian. So like every weekend, or Seventh-day Adventist, every Saturday I had to go to church. It was,
Oh, really?
Saturday was like a church was like a whole day thing.
Yikes.
Yeah, so she kind of eased up like after high school. So her whole thing was, you want to do something that's like noble and helps
Helps you.
people. And
Well, gosh, Mom, we help people.
exactly. I feel like PI lawyers, we
We
definitely
literally help injured people for a living, and we get such a bad reputation. Like,
Ambulance chasers.
all right, until you get hurt and need us.
Right. I taught my daughter ambulance. I'm like, you ever seen daddy chasing an ambulance? She's like, no, that's silly.
If they really hurt, I would.
Right.
well, how good's the case, right?
Yeah. How big of a policy are we talking here?
Right.
That's funny.
hit
How old
by
is your daughter?
She is 5. She'll be 6 in January.
So, how did you get your citizenship? You said you had a little immigration holdup. Did you like 90-day fiance or is that how the daughter came to be? Like
That's hilarious. No, that was like 20 years ago. My mom actually ended up getting married to somebody, and they stayed married for like
She
10
90
years.
day fiance.
Ah, gotcha. All right,
Very
cool,
close.
cool.
Yeah, no, but they were married for like almost 10 years actually.
Oh, wow.
So that's how, like, I was still a minor, so that's kind of
9-year fiance.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, something like that. I hear that she and there was like some. I'm kidding.
yeah.
Nothing like that. But yeah, that's how through marriage. And then, like, it was for the silliest reason. I was like, man, I really want a U.S. passport so I can just travel freely. right? Because the
Yeah,
passport.
people take that for granted. Like,
Oh, you have no.
if you're from
idea.
literally any other country, like you have to get visas to go places, and like some places you just can't go. Like, but Americans can go most places. Sometimes you have to pay for a visa or like get a visa for some places, but for the most part, like we could just pull up.
Right. So U.S. passport, pretty much anywhere in maybe not Cuba, right? They might be like, "What are you doing here?"
No, even now you could go to Cuba.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been.
No,
Yeah.
I really want to go, but yeah,
Pull up.
Yeah.
when I got the like Zambian passport, it's not only getting a visa, right? Which like if you want to go to like Europe or something, countries will have different process.
Right.
But then they were like, we want to know that you're not like coming here to like just live here legally and all that stuff. So we need to see that you have a
Your
job.
bank account and
We
your
need to see that you have a bank account with at least $100,000. And I was like,
Jeez.
bro, I'm in college. Like, how can
Yeah.
I? So that's why I couldn't like go to Europe when I wanted to do study abroad.
Yeah.
They were like, no, because you're not a U.S. citizen technically. So I became one.
You're just permanent resident at the time.
Right. So I became one, and I think it was like law school. And then once I got that passport, I was like, stamps everywhere. I'm going everywhere. Like Ian's like, we're going to Colombia. I'm like, I'm going.
There. I was gonna say we've all actually traveled together.
Yeah.
You were at Ian and Shafi's bachelorette in Medellin.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That was. We've
Those
talked about it a few times on this show.
Fine, you guys
Wait,
have-
sorry, real quick though. You said ever since you got your citizenship, racking up the stamps. What's your number right now? What's your body
Like
count?
how many?
Yeah, how many countries have you been to so far?
I don't know about body count, but countries. Let me see. I've been to like probably like at least 10.
Okay,
Like I went to Europe for the first time.
not a country, but I'm kidding.
Okay. I went to England. I went to
Yeah.
Spain.
Not a country.
That was- really?
You
We're
kind of
assholes.
kingdom. I'm just fucking with you. I mean, I'm right. Yeah.
So back to the riveting story of how I
Okay,
became
yes.
an
Now,
attorney,
let's get to that.
unfortunately. I had a mentor that she was actually like a youth leader at my church, and she went to Harvard Law School. So I remember I was very impressed by like her critical thinking skills, and I was like, how did you learn all? She was like, oh, law school learned this, and I was like, and that was pretty much why, and the money.
Right, it's a nice little cherry on top.
Because my major
Or the main reason that we all do that. No,
my
I'm kidding.
major jobs were offering like $40K, and I was like, nah, not after college. Like,
Shit, that's what I was making as an attorney when I first started. 45.
wow, you got
It was rough in 2011, man. Yeah,
You go to law school when the world, the economy's crashing.
yeah.
So does everybody else.
I was happy with my little 45.
I think my first job as a lawyer was 75,
Be nice.
Took me years to get there.
and I was mad about that.
Right. When did you come out of law school? What year?
2015.
No, not that much after me. That was 2011. But I guess, yeah, the economy recovered a lot in those 4 years.
Like they started, the big firms were like doing in-house hiring again.
They were revoking offers when I was graduating. Like people that had like summered there every summer and like that was their whole plan were getting their offers like revoked.
I heard like hiring fees. I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck, especially if you like made law review and all that.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even bother with any of that shit. None of that mattered. Especially since I ended up working for myself. It really didn't matter. But
I wasn't that good of a lawyer.
well, I studied abroad when they were doing like all the stuff for moot court and law review. I was like, psh, I'm not doing that. I'm studying abroad.
Out of my body count.
Right.
Ian, what year did you graduate?
12.
Okay.
2012. Yeah, I was the tail end of all that bullshit. So
Yeah. We were friends in law school.
That was my first year of law school, 2012. Boy, I was
tagging you in, bro.
I was
Yeah.
lost. That was a crazy year. Went
What
to
was-
law school, ended up at Mercer, which was like a strategic decision because all my friends were in the city. I was like, I'm not gonna do well if I stay. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I lucked out. I ended up with an apartment that was like right around the corner from the law school. So like it would take me like not even 5 minutes to get there. So,
Nice.
but it was a rough 3 years because I had to live in Macon. That was not fun.
Yeah. Macon is such a shithole.
You stuck with it all 3 years. 3 years of making.
Yeah, a lot of people transfer. Like a lot of my friends that started there just did their first year, then transferred.
A lot of people did that. They transferred out after year one. But you know what? I can't lie. My first semester, I drove home every weekend.
Yeah, that's what everybody did.
Friday, I was out of there.
Remember that plan to avoid, all the fun in Atlanta?
I know, right?
But then I got
At least during the week,
then
was.
I got my first semester grades. Then I stopped.
No, really.
And I stayed and studied. No, I had
But
to.
people still partied at Mercer Law. Like, there's only like 3 places to go, but they went and they did it.
I was the worst like social person in Macon because I never went to
Oh,
like
really?
we had like was it barrister's ball, the yearly
Law
like,
school prom, yeah.
Yeah.
0 for 3. No,
Really?
Man.
Oh my God. I went to other schools' law school proms. I went to Emory's every year.
I
Yeah.
never went.
So much fun.
We had a
I only
Halloween
got
party.
I only got an invite to my own, but yeah, I went to all the, and they also have a fall one.
Oh yeah, Harvest Moon Ball.
Yeah,
I used
although-
to go to y'all's Harvest Moon
You know
Ball
what
all
they
the
call
time
it
too.
now?
What?
Scaristers. Isn't that?
Oh, that's way cooler.
Yeah.
Damn it! Why didn't
'Cause
y'all
ha-
think of that sooner?
Halloween version of the Barrister's Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
some-
I went to all of y'all's Harvest Moon Balls too.
Yeah, I went to Halloween ones at
Okay.
That was
That's
it.
before you made your decision to hit the books.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first time I looked at a report card and I didn't have an A. So I was more.
Oh, A's don't exist in law school. Like 2 people get A's. That's not a thing because
No,
it's graded
I
on
was-
a curve.
My pride was hurt. I was upset.
I think I got 1, maybe 2 A's in all of law school.
For me, first semester was the only one I was ashamed of. After that, I couldn't.
You were getting A's?
A few here and there.
Okay.
Not as many as
Good for
undergrad.
you.
So living in Macon, right? Graduation was probably one of the best days ever. But it's like graduate, study for the bar. So it's like you're
Yeah.
happy, stressed.
Short-lived.
Yeah, happy, stressed, and all that. But after that, like I started doing defense work, which was just not for me. Like doing billable hours was the worst.
Yeah.
Even though I did enjoy like a lot of the defense seminars, and you learn how they delay, duck, dodge, just do all sorts of. I can curse, right?
I wish I had some
Bullshit.
defense experience.
Yeah, it's you actually learn like it's a strategy.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, me either.
I can't do it, but they'll teach.
I'm
they'll
for
teach-
the people.
They'll teach stuff like, yeah, if you have a big case and the plaintiff's attorney says we need depositions, don't respond. Like
They teach them that? I thought it was a coincidence.
and then when they like wait for them to unilaterally notice it, it's like, oh. So now doing plaintiff's work, I ask you, hey, I need one time. I'll wait like a week. Unilaterally.
I sent
notice.
him
Really?
I sent him my complaint. I unilaterally noticed and tell him we can reschedule, but I always put the pressure on it with I picked that up from Bungie.
And then the best thing that happened for my career is I went to Morgan & Morgan, because even though it's like a very high pressure environment, like to produce, like they literally on the first of every month, the chart comes out and the email it goes to is firm wide, so everybody sees it and everybody sees your numbers, like
Oh,
where
really?
you are, where you rank. So what I learned is people lie. People will lie.
Really?
Oh, and like you meet a guy like water cooler, whatever. Man, I just settled this case, and you're like, oh, okay. Then the chart comes out, their numbers aren't moving. Then the chart comes out the next month, and the numbers aren't moving. And the next month, and so it looks like, oh.
Should have settled by now. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So very high pressure environment, but the training I would say is probably like some of the lawyers that I met there, I'm like, I hope I can be as good of a lawyer as you are. Like
Yeah.
the Keenan Nixes, Chris Graddick, all those guys. My mentor that I have now, I met him. He used to be the head of my department there. So, and then their business model is they just let you run all your cases by yourself. It's like,
Yeah.
here's your case. This is how much you have to bring in. Let us know what resources you need, right? So everything you need is there, but you really have to be like a self-starter, self-motivated, because nobody's micromanaging you.
Right.
No one's, did you get your disc? No one cares. Nobody cares.
Just care about the end result.
Exactly.
Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Doing that for 3 years gave me the confidence, like, yo, I can do this by myself. So had a little fiasco at the end with my boss and I quit in a fiery blaze. But
Really?
we've since rehashed the relation. It's about money.
Oh, yeah.
So like I had cases, they had cases. I was like, I'm keeping mine, y'all keep yours. And they're like, well, a whole bunch of their clients obviously wanted to come with me, right? Because I worked the cases by myself. So they're just like, okay, we just need something saying that they want to come with you. Sure thing. And then there were a couple where there were like really big cases. Mofos try to snake the cases from me when I was on vacation. Like I went on vacation right when I quit.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Come back, and people are hitting me up like, oh, this attorney from Morgan & Morgan called us and said this and said that. And I was just like, really? But it was more so individuals. Like the people at the firm, once we just talked about like keeping the deal that we had, the separation agreement, everything's been cool. Like they still send me cases now, and we have a really, really good relationship.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I'm eternally grateful to them, because I feel like they actually taught me how to be a lawyer. Before
Yeah.
that, like I'd been practicing 4 years before I got there. I really feel like I was still just winging it. You know?
I'm still winging it,
Right. but-
personally.
so, like, they gave me like a little bit of structure, definitely confidence for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Structure is definitely what I was missing being on my own like the entire time, like zero structure. And I don't know how firms are normally structured either, because I've never
Right.
really worked at a PI firm. So,
But I'd say like you have in abundance more so than I do bravery, courage to go do that on your own so quickly.
I think it's just blissful ignorance more so. But, yeah.
I feel like I would have just stressed myself into, am I going to have enough clients?
Yeah.
I really needed to wait a while to feel like I knew what I was doing. Whereas,
Well, I had already been living off my 45K, so I was like, I'm sure I can make 45K at least, or somewhere around there. So
I was talking about this to one of my friends who's a dentist now, and I was like, dude, think about, we used to talk about getting financial aid at Georgia State and thinking that we'd hit the freaking lottery.
Yeah.
But like, bro, how much was your Pell Grant? Like, mine was this, mine was that.
Yeah.
Shopping.
Right. Yeah.
Go through a loan check easy, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, your Airbnb or short-term rental story.
Okay. I know of a story that's worse than the one I went through, but the one I went through is pretty bad too, because like it wasn't really our fault.
You could have just pretended like they were both your story. We'll still pretend. Cut that part out. All right. Tell us your 2 stories
Okay,
that
so
you have.
no, my personal story was I was at an Airbnb in New York with some friends, right? And the guy across the street tried to break into the Airbnb.
Oh, really?
When we were out, like he knew like the owner would rent it out, right? And they had like a bunch of stuff, like they had a nice TV. It was like a nice place, but they had a Ring camera like everywhere. So when we came back, there were like cops everywhere, and we're just like, what in the world is going on? And they were like, oh yeah, the guy across the street tried to break in, and he got arrested, and it was just like,
Were these like apartments, and it was like
Yeah, it
the
was
guy
like-
across the hall?
it was like he lived literally in
a building across the street?
right?
What
So
part of-
And was just looking dead into the Ring camera, still trying to break in?
I don't think he knew there was a Ring camera there.
Isn't it?
What part of the city?
It was outside of Manhattan, right across the bridge in Jersey.
What were y'all in New York for?
Vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So people are just like, but the crazy part though is the owner knew him and knew that he tried that before. So we were like, bro, we have all our stuff here. Why wouldn't you let us know? Like, what if? So that was just
He's trying to keep that under wraps. sir.
Right. Why would he let you know that?
not.
And what would you have done had you known?
I mean,
Stayed somewhere else?
Our lawyers,
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
problem.
Right.
are
Yeah.
lawyers really the people that you want to hide information from? I feel like that could.
How did you know that he already knew?
Because he told us.
Yeah. Well,
This dummy. He was forthright, at one point, but maybe should have been from the start.
Right.
Yeah. But no, the other story that I had was.
Wait, how did this guy try to break in?
He literally just came to the door and was like trying to do like the little credit card trick.
Oh,
But
wow.
his face was like right on the Ring camera.
How did he not see the Ring camera? Isn't it the doorbell?
I have
I guess he didn't know that's what it was.
Oh.
so many people get caught off of Ring cameras. It's ridiculous. For like 10 years now, it's like people don't realize like everybody has their stuff under surveillance now because it's so cheap to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I just saw recently? Maybe this was a commercial or something. But the guy that invented the Ring camera went on Shark Tank with the idea, and they're like,
They're like,
this
no.
is stupid. Now he's one of the sharks. They brought him in as like a guest shark. He sold it for $1 billion or something like insane.
Look at you now, Mark.
Yeah, they're like, because I think it was like he had it listed at like $299 or something. They're like, that's way too expensive. This is stupid. Nobody's gonna buy it. And now look at him.
Yeah, like when you watch some of the companies that they turn down, a lot of them actually become really,
Yeah.
really successful.
I think that's kind of part of the point of going on Shark Tank is just
The Shark
the
Tank bump.
exposure. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if he's just a guest shark or maybe on the new season he's permanently a shark now, but he's one of the sharks now.
What a story.
Yeah.
What a story.
Look, back up a story though. All right, so you find out that he tells you like, "Hey, listen, man, there's this guy that's been, he's tried this before. I should have told you."
No, the cops
So
are
y'all
there.
just came back and
When we
found
came-
cops.
When we came back, the cops are there. Like,
Yeah.
it's like all these cop cars. And that's when we were asking what was going on. And then one of the officers was like, oh, yeah, the owner said he might know the guy. Because they were like, go check and see if you guys actually had any stuff stolen. But we don't actually think he got in.
think. Isn't there video of the entire thing? They should.
So that's why they was like, yeah, we don't actually think he got in.
Oh.
But apparently the owner had given a statement that either he knew the guy or the guy had tried to break in before or something like that. But our whole thing was just like, why wouldn't you let us know?
Why would they let you? I'm on the owner's side here. What do you want him to say? Hey, this one time previously somebody tried to break into this apartment? Like, why would he tell a guest that?
Yeah, I want to know about
So
all
right
previous
there.
Right.
robbery attempts.
Has anyone ever tried to? Yeah, exactly.
I definitely want to know that.
Has there
for
been
sure.
any?
Would you have told your guests if you were the owner that somebody had previously once tried to break in?
Yes.
Why?
What?
I don't know if I
like
would
yeah,
have. I don't know.
like you have to disclose like murders in the house,
Right.
That kind of thing.
Like that type of thing. Like,
Absolutely.
no, you don't.
Why wouldn't you?
Why
You know,
would you?
Given that you have the
So people can know not to see.
you have
And then what will happen?
all the bodies that you have on your passport, you don't think that you've ever stayed somewhere where
Right.
someone's died and they didn't tell you about
Yeah.
it?
I plead the fifth.
Certainly, some places where they have been some robberies
For sure.
and some of that.
No, usually like I just stay at like the Marriott, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's my point. You wouldn't know.
Right,
Because they're not
exactly.
telling your ass.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean,
You know when you do like a negligent security run, you're just like checking all the like 911 calls on that location. I guess we could do that at the once you book your Airbnb.
Yeah.
You pop in the
Do
address.
a little open records request.
And then let's see how many times people have called about it. And then you're like,
Yeah.
and then I'm just going to sit there and wait.
That's too
Wait
much
for my
work.
guest to tell me
right.
about that call, about that guy, that nosy neighbor of yours. who's-
Yeah.
no, it's one of those things that only when it happens to you, that's when you're complaining. For real.
Right.
Really. But no, I had a friend go through a worse, well, his mom went through a worse Airbnb where they let an Airbnb
Wait, did y'all get your
stay-
money back for? Sorry, we keep going back to the story, but like,
I want
what happened
want
on
closure.
the right? Yeah, what happened on the
No, we-
Airbnb
we
side
just-
of it?
we
Like,
just
y'all
ended up
continued your stay,
We're just leaving and going to stay somewhere else.
and did you get your money back?
No.
Did you try to get your money back, or you
We
just
told Airbnb
fall
and
that
they were
hard?
like, and they were like,
They're like, one more. So you're saying that you want your money back because one time. I'm just kidding.
Right.
no, we told Airbnb and they were like, we'll look into it, but nothing ever really came of it.
Yeah.
No, but the other story is worse, right?
Lay it on me.
I had a friend, his mom had a place and they were doing Airbnb and the person moved in and refused to leave.
We've had a few of those
Yeah,
stories.
and it was one of those states where I can't remember where it was exactly, but it was one of those states where like once you let a person in like that, you actually have to go through like a formal
Georgia's one of those states.
eviction process. I didn't know to
Yeah.
get them out of there, which like my mom used to sublease her house a long time ago, so
Mm-hmm.
I've been a landlord and had to evict someone. Like that process, it's not fun.
You don't even have to let them in. Somebody could break into your house and like start staying there, and you'd still have to evict them.
As a squatter, right?
Yeah,
That's
Didn't we
terrible.
pass some anti-squatters' rights law recently?
I feel like maybe
I think
recently.
we did
yeah.
too. I don't know if it's like kicked in yet.
They
I might-
probably listened to our podcast and heard some of the stories, and they're like, "That's not right. We should do something about it."
You're welcome.
You're welcome, America.
At least Georgia.
At least Georgia.
That's where Kemp got it from.
Yeah, no, but like, so his mom, she comes back to like stay at her house, and this person like won't leave, and they just
How
like,
long of a stay had they booked? Like an extended stay, or just like a few nights?
I think it was like a week
No, okay.
or something like that. But yeah, like it took like a month and a half to get the person out of there.
Yeah. We've heard stories where it's taken longer than that, even like months and months. Wasn't one of our guests like that happened and it was during COVID, so it was like 6 months or something before they could get the person
Yeah.
out?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So they were paying.
We've talked about this in the past, but like it wouldn't work on me. I know like it would be
Yeah,
illegal
but
to
I
like
would do
kick
it
him out, but
anyways.
like I wouldn't, I wouldn't do
So
it. But
what's
like
illegal?
I would
and
just
what's
take
not?
all the doors off the hinges, like
I'd
take
take-
all the light bulbs out. Like
I'd go.
they didn't say that you have to make it a nice place for the squatter to stay.
I'd turn the power off to that room and
Stink bombs.
yeah,
All
definitely
kinds of
take-
shit.
Doors off the hinges is the first thing that's coming down.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, all that you're not supposed to do. But
Oh, we had that one where that lady was like
you're not
smoking a
allowed to do-
cigarette. Remember? She's like smoking a cigarette in the kitchen,
Oh, yeah.
squatting.
yeah, those are some of
No.
that would frustrate me so much. But again,
Right.
I'd get her ass out of there.
Exactly. I'd just fight her. At that point.
See, it's like at this point in life, it's like I just got too much to lose, man. I can't fight you like that.
I might have a squatter right now. I had a
Really?
I had a lengthy Airbnb. It was like a month, like 20. It was 25 days, and then like the person who was booking it wasn't actually the person who was staying there. But like I went through, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'd love to extend it. I love the place." I was like, "Oh, great!" And so like it's like day 2 of her stay that we're like negotiating it. I send her a contract. She signs it, and then she's just being a little bit of an idiot about paying. And then like I'm like following up, and now we're getting close to the end of her stay. And I'm like, "Hey, listen, like
The end of the like Airbnb stay and the start of the extension.
Exactly. And so I'm like, hey, and we extended for another 25 days. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm leaving town on Wednesday. This is last week, going to GTLA. And I was like, I need it before I leave. And so like, she's like, every day it's some more bullshit. And then,
Yeah, you talked about this previously. This bitch still hasn't paid?
yeah, oh yeah, I forgot I told you about that. No, so
Yeah.
she sent, finally on the day I leave, she sends me a picture of the check deposit. But this is not good enough.
What?
should have known.
Like a check deposit, like her paycheck or something?
I sent her I have like like a business bank account for my Airbnb.
Yeah.
I sent her that info, and she's asking like dumb questions. Let me just go back.
Oh, she like took a physical check to the bank and deposited it in your account?
A cashier's check. She's from out of town. I forget what it was.
Bitch, use Zelle. What the hell is that?
Well, her Zelle, this is more money than that. I think her limit's like $2,000.
Oh.
All this shit. And then, all right, she says, first I said, hey, just want to follow up on payment for the direct booking. FU, question mark? It means follow up. And then she's like, oh, LMFAO, talked to my bank today. Got approved. It'll be sent out today. Okay, great. If you wouldn't mind passing along receipt for my records. Boom. Yes, he did. And then I follow up again. Did you get the email? Hey, what email did you send it to? I've been traveling back from Colombia like the next day. The only time I delay slightly. Hey, just following up. And then I'm like searching her emails. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. Finally, she's like, I will get back to you by the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Hey, there, my bank sent to the wrong email. I had your email wrong. I do apologize. We'll be sending everything tomorrow. Then the next day, is there a place I can deposit the money? Yes, my bank account.
What?
The wire instructions I sent you. Yeah, be very
Like
fishy.
buried in the backyard. Where
So
else
then I'm
are you
like
gonna deposit
resending
it?
her like with it highlighted, like there's where you send it to. Thank you. Deposit receipt. She sends me this, and it's like the last 4 digits are my bank account. Like, okay, she deposited and for the amount, and then but it says in the bottom it doesn't actually clear till the 31st, which is tomorrow. Guarantee it doesn't clear tomorrow.
You think?
I don't think it's gonna clear at all. And then she starts giving me. And then all of a sudden, but I'm not thinking that it's a red flag until out of nowhere on Sunday. I'm like just doing some work, I catch up work, and I'm like, okay, I should follow up with that lady because now I want to see if she wants to extend again or should I block it off of the calendar? And I'm like, hey, just seeing if you were wanting to extend past the 19th. And she goes, actually, I need to know what I can give you for the weekend and Monday on Cash App or Zelle because I'll be gone come tomorrow morning. My mom fell and got hurt very badly, so I need to go back home and help her. I will have the house cleaned and everything for you.
Wait, so she's not extending, or is she like taking a break in between?
I'm like, why would you ask for how much you owe through Monday of the current when you've already paid me for all that?
Yeah, that's already paid.
So I'm like, sorry to
She
hear
ain't
about.
going nowhere.
I'm sorry to hear about your mother. And she goes, thank you. Can you tell me what I owe for the weekend and Monday? And at this point, I got to bed, but I woke up the next morning. I'm like, well, you've already paid through the 19th, so no additional Zelle required. And then she goes, I have to call my bank tomorrow. The name I gave them for the check and the name of the account were different. I'm like, what the fuck? I literally sent you a fucking picture.
Yeah.
And then, and so now I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh, I bet you there's some scamming going on that check. And so I was like, wait, so that wasn't a deposit you sent me? And she's like, yes, it was. Call me. Now I'm literally about to go to bed again. I'm like, I just lied to her. I said I was with my wife. So I was like, I'm not trying to disturb my wife's sleep with a phone call right now, but we can circle back tomorrow. But like, what do you mean call you right now? You know,
Yeah,
like, I'm
what
asking a
time was
simple
it?
question. 10:45. I'm a little bit of an old man now,
Yeah,
but
no,
still.
that's late
that's
to be
late.
calling
Okay.
anybody.
All right.
I guess we're all old. but
So then the
Don't
next
call
day,
me after 9.
can you send me a picture of the check? Please call me, she says. I'm like, this bitch. And so I call her, and then she gives me all that nonsense.
It sounds like she's trying to renege on the extension and only stay through the weekend, but that's already paid
Look,
for.
we'll see tomorrow when that check doesn't clear.
But she signed a contract, right?
She did. And then, oh yeah, so on the phone, she tells me, she's giving me the sob story. She gets a little rude with me, I might add.
Really?
And I'm like, hey, listen, if anyone should be rude, it's me. You're the one who owes me money.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm sorry that happened.
Because you blocked off your calendar, so you missed out on bookings.
Exactly. And so I'm like, and also literally the night I like texted her, I guess what it reminded me is I was getting messages from Airbnb. Some guy tried to book it, and I was like, oh, sorry, I need to block this off. So I, can't do it. All right. And then so she tells me on the phone, she's like, sob story about this fake, her fake mother's health issues, and then
She doesn't even have a mother. Her fake mother.
like so probably killed off another family member,
Right.
earlier to explain like other late payments. Right, that's what I'm getting from her. And then she had some issue about her dog. She had one time when I called her, was asking like how's the neighborhood. She was like, she tells me this weird story about how like the neighbors next door try to like play with her dog, and she's like, don't try and play with my dog. And then her dog snapped at him, and then she was like, I warned you not to try and play with my dog. So all right, so now she's talking about this dog again. She's like, yeah. I'm just going to be picked up by this time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, because she's like, I don't know if it might be like by 6 p.m. tomorrow, either tonight or first thing in the morning, that I'll have my pit bull picked up, and then I'm leaving. And I'm like, more of this little shifting stuff. Just let me know if it's, if the dog's been vacated. And so then she sends me at 9:22 p.m. yesterday. The dog will be picked up by 6 p.m. tomorrow. The cashier check will be overnight as well. She told me, oh, I'm overnight this one. When I get tracking number tomorrow from the bank, I will send it to you. That's today, which it's 6 o'clock as we record. I've yet to receive anything from her.
Also, your bank is not going to overnight a cashier's check for you. That's not a
full
thing.
of shit. I know. But I'm like, all right, at this point,
she hasn't paid you at all.
Well, not for the extension. I did make, she paid like, I don't know, I took home like $6,000 or something for the first part of it. But this extension, it's a fake $5,500 payment, And so I'm sure, this is obviously bullshit. So I'm like, all right, but like tomorrow, I guess I need to pull up on my house and be like, all right, you said you vacated. Obviously you haven't. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that squatter shit's not going to work on me.
Right. I don't care what the law is. Get the fuck out.
I am the law around
right.
here.
So what you going to do if she refuses to leave?
It won't
drag
work.
her by her hair.
I will fucking be like, I'll show you that how nice that dog is, and
I kick your dog. What do you think the scam is? You think she's trying to squat, or you think she's like backing out of the extension and that's it?
Yeah, I think she's trying to get the fuck out and like not pay and get her free week. Yeah. But my the banker was like, what about is she trying to rob your place clean of all its items like right now?
What if?
Well, I mean, I guess I would see her going in and out on the cameras.
Yeah.
But also, like, what, you stealing some old TVs?
Right.
Like, all right, I guess I need to upgrade
TVs are like $200 now.
And yeah, these are like, I probably bought all the TVs in that house like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they were like moved from one Airbnb to the next. So like, they're not, they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's obviously I'm not getting I think the worst of the damage is I missed out on some bookings. And I'm not getting my $5,500 for the extension.
Hopefully she doesn't tear the place up or destroy it.
She was very adamant about it. She wanted to clean herself. I was like, well, I got it, ma'am, but I still have to get it professionally cleaned.
Yeah, that sounds sketchy too. Like there's a reason she doesn't want the cleaning people to come because she's still secretly going to be there or something. I don't know. Something is weird.
Yeah. I think I still am within the.
Let's call her right now.
Should we? I mean, I can.
I mean, maybe.
All right, let's do it. Let's put.
Yeah, let's follow up.
All right, good call. We're investigative journalism. I think her name is.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Max is calling.
It's Ian Grady.
Eden Grady.
Ian Grady. You're in my Airbnb.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Yep.
I'm doing pretty good. I was just circling back with you to see how's everything going with your pup and your mother and getting the house cleaned and vacated.
The dog will be getting taken to, I have no choice, but it will be taken to the shelter in the morning.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Everything else okay?
No, I mean, I was just following up about, you said, what happened with the bank and then again, what your timetable is.
I will be home and off of work here shortly, and I can send you the email that I have. It's just on my computer, and I have not been home since 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, long day. Oh, yeah. So is the email, what's going to have the tracking number and all that fun stuff on there?
Yes.
All right. And so then what's your schedule like for, I guess, heading back home to your mom?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I was just trying to figure out for like my maid when to send her over there.
Yeah, tomorrow after 1 o'clock.
After 1? All right. And how's your mother doing?
On that medicine, on that cashier's check, there will be an extra $80 for those blinds.
Oh, you never got, I forgot about the blinds. You and your husband never got a chance to fix them?
No, I couldn't even figure out what size they were.
Okay. Well.
So I just put an extra $80 on there for the blinds.
Okay, so you sent a check for $5,580?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're too kind.
So, but all right, I will let you go and I'll shoot you a text because I've got another phone call on the other line.
Okay. I was
Thank
gonna.
you.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you about my podcast, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay, I'll give you a call here shortly.
Alrighty.
All right, bye.
It's called Once Upon a Bnb, bitch, and you're on it.
Right.
She ain't giving you shit.
No, it's not a chance.
That's
you fucking
so
scam.
shady.
I
Why
know.
is she like saying there's extra $80 too? I
You
don't
lying
know, man.
bitch. Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. Why is she still paying you $5,500 if she's leaving?
Because she's full of shit. So she's just like, I mean,
She's pretending like she's paying you that even though she's leaving?
She owes it to me. Like, you signed a fucking contract.
Right.
Like, I do. I have her license. Like, I made her send me a picture of her license and her husband's license. So, like, I could, like, get them served and go after them in small claims court just for fun.
Yeah.
But, I can't.
Should we?
Yeah, I mean, because the last time we tried that, I
And
didn't
then
actually
record it for the podcast? Like Judge Judy style?
Yeah.
I want to know what happens tomorrow if you're going to get this money. I don't think so.
He's not getting no fucking money.
No, not a
You really
chance.
think she's gonna give him $5,500 to not stay there? Obviously not.
No.
And she ain't leaving. Who lives
And
on
the
a
extra
Wednesday?
$80.
Extra 80s. Yeah.
Yeah,
broke my-
right.
Vacates on a Wednesday.
She kept being like, oh, this
She
is
And
gotta
what the
do it
fuck?
for-
She can't take the pit bull to her mom's house? Why is she like giving
makes
him to
no
a shelter?
sense. Yeah. And you're a bad person. Here I am trying to threaten your dog, but you're
You
the
think
one.
that's for sympathy? Because
Yeah,
she knows
probably.
you're not gonna get the money?
I don't know. She's just a weirdo.
Oh, you're gonna feel so bad if like $5,500 shows
No, I
up.
won't.
Actually, you'll be
I'm
very
gonna
happy.
be like,
but yeah.
I'll feel $5,500
Dollars richer.
greater.
Yeah.
And I also will be like, well, you were sketchy the whole fucking time.
Right.
That's on you. I
Shouldn't
don't
have
feel
been
bad at all.
sketchy, right.
Yeah. How about communicate? That's what I told her yesterday. Like, if you had all these issues with the name of the bank, why didn't you communicate
Say
that with
something,
me?
yeah.
You should have communicated that with me. I just talked down to her a little bit and scolded her, even though she's like laughing all the way to the bank.
Right.
Or not, the bank
So
transfer,
funny.
the fake.
It's
bank.
so funny to be like scamming somebody and pretending to do like extra nice on top things, like, and I gave you extra $80.
I think con men that's like
That's
a
what they do.
common
They're very good
tactic.
at
Yeah.
that.
I don't, but I don't want. That's what pisses me off. I didn't want to argue with her right there, but she thinks it's working.
Yeah.
She thinks I think it's coming. I know it's
Yeah,
not coming.
Exactly.
Man,
And she says things in a very well, this is how it is, so you have to accept
she's
it.
also very rude. I don't like her.
Really?
Yeah.
What did she say? Eden Grady.
No, but once she heard Grady, she was like, oh, the money guy.
Yeah. Oh, that guy owe money too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand the feeling of owing people
Me either.
money. I don't even like clients to take out loans. I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I talk them out of loans because it makes it hard to settle the case.
All the time.
You borrow $1,000, you owe $7,000 back at the end of the fucking case. But well, anyways,
All right, Nigel. We've had a fun episode. Are you ready to sign our guest book?
I'm signing it.
what are you leaving us with?
I'm never fucking leaving. The Leo
All right.
line.
I'm never fucking leaving. All right.
All right.
I want to do that in the Airbnb. No, I'm joking. I'm never going to do that shit.
A squat.
No.
It's not a bad plan if you're
No.
in hard times.
You could. That's tough with the move.
Yeah, for sure. Why
I
wouldn't you do that?
You should. I guess if you're nice, you don't want to
Right. I mean, maybe
fuck
you're a good
someone over.
person or something, but whatever.
Other than that, but if it's that or a car,
Yeah.
or, sleeping outside,
sure.
I think you might should just go squat.
And then some people are crazy. You never know. What if they burn the house down or something while you're in it?
Insurance. New
Yeah.
house. Yeah. Well, guys, this has been another episode of Once Upon a Bnb. This is Maha.
This is Ian.
And Nigel.
Thank you, Nigel.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Till next time.